safe world, you already know what's going on. We got to talk about the infamous situation going on with Empire Records, man. Kodak Black's engineer basically called it out today, and I've been speaking on it for a minute now. But Empire has a very big problem right now. All of their artists are dying. There's a whole slew of artists, including their whole roster, is almost fucking eliminated right now. We got to get into the situation and the dark side of Empire Records, and we going to talk about it right now. But before we do, I'm going to need you to like, comment, subscribe, and we going to run this up, man. So this is basically a part 2 to my other video that I previously made. And I made this video like last year when I'm pretty sure Young Dolph had died, and then it sort of started off this chain of events. But in the past year, if really you could say the past 2 years, there has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artists from Empire who have died. XXXTentacion, Draco the Ruler, King Von, Mo 3, Young Dolph, PNB Rock, and then just recently the video that I just dropped, Ladacash Desto. They were all signed to Empire Records, and what did they all have in common? They were all gunned down on some crazy shit. I mean, Draco was stabbed, but you get the point, man. It's definitely crazy. Empire is basically a distribution company and / a record label, so a lot of it goes on the artists, you know, that's what they're trying to say. So they basically are a new type of label that instead of like getting a master cut out of the masters, I mean, like, it's probably negotiable, we don't know everyone's thing, but they get like some type of payment in a different way, maybe from publishing or something like that, and they don't take a cut out of the masters, and they basically just do distribution for your tracks and stuff. So it allows you to basically be independent, and they basically make all their own bread, which I guess that's what they're saying is the downside of being independent is you have to hire your own security. But look at the situation with Pop Smoke. He didn't have his own security, and he was signed to Victor, and they let him die. And Victor, the dude from that record company, is basically going around like flexing cars and stuff, basically off the money that they made off the projects that he basically still has locked in with the label, man. But that's a whole nother story. But let's talk about Empire. So Empire was founded by this guy named Ghazi, and Kodak Black's engineer that I was talking about earlier had a few choice words for Ghazi. He says that this is his engineer and producer, Derek. He says everybody that signs to Empire ends up dying. All they do is give you a bag and tell you to go figure it out. No wonder everyone in the Bay Area hates Ghazi. Now, I don't know if it's 100% that everyone in the Bay Area hates him, because they have a lot of Bay Area centered events in San Francisco and stuff like that. But this is before all these artists started dying. And every label probably has a certain artist that dies or something. And honestly, when you look at it at the normal type of label situation, it's in the best interest of the label if the artist dies. Because look at Juice WRLD, look at Pop Smoke, okay? So they were a phenomenon. They dropped music that is like timeless, right? So they had these hits, and then they just died, and all those hits are just there. That's all the music that's ever going to be released to them. And because they died while they're still fulfilling their contract, their label gets to release all the other stuff, and they get to release all the leftover music still on the label. You feel me? Isn't that crazy? So they own you throughout the afterlife, basically. That's how like the traditional record deal goes. I'm not really sure what the whole structure of this is, being a distribution company. And the whole good thing about Empire is the fact that they basically get to make their money and get the masters at the end of the day, so they don't have to go through the same type of situation, and they, I guess, receive more ownership. But it's like they're definitely giving something up for a distribution deal. And people were kind of speculating that, hey, maybe they have some type of life insurance policy out on these people or something like that. But it's not we don't even know. It could be a life insurance for a distribution deal. It doesn't really seem like it's that intense with it. But I feel like the main thing that we have to look at is the fact that these people, they're profiting similar in the way that a record label does. They're gonna get more money, more streams when there's more streams, you know? And when an artist dies, that's like the ultimate amount of streams. That's how people go like platinum, or like their songs go to the top. Look at PNB Rock. His song was like #1 on like multiple charts after he died. So it's like, man, of course, like they want, like, it's not like they want their artists to die, but it's like eventually you know, like with the Juice World situation or like any situation, like as they get bigger, they're gonna realize they have the team. They can just go completely independent. They don't really even need a bag like that from Empire after they've gone completely independent, and then they're gonna go by themselves. But they're forever, like their last records that they drop when they die are gonna be the stuff that sells out the most. So that's really what that guy is basically calling out Empire with. Now Ghazi has basically spoke about this and said that the devil is working overtime and shit like that. Basically tweets like that. I mean, you already know what he's talking about. He's talking about the situation. He's talking about all the deaths. But you should, I feel like if you're gonna be like a distribution company and you're gonna give people a huge bag and you're gonna invest in these street artists, don't you think that you should have some type of like security, like personnel that's on hold? Like you don't necessarily have to like give them the, buy them the security or whatever, but you could basically get them the like connect for the security so they don't even have to worry about it. You just connect the dots and you could be like, hey, you can hire these people, we have a good relationship with these people and you should have them, and they give you a deal because you work with a lot of different artists and that would save so many people's lives. But that's the thing that they don't do. They don't even recommend it because they don't really care. Because if they cared really truly about the artists, you know, they wouldn't be going through this type of situation. There wouldn't be almost 10 artists who died in the last 2 years on this label. Like, he might be exaggerating, but it's real, bro. Like, all these artists are fucking dying on this label. So it has something to say. Like, there's obviously something that they're doing wrong, man. And yeah, people applaud Ghazi for like investing in the street people and stuff, which is good. You should invest in people that don't have a lot of opportunities because they really make good music and it really changes their lives for the better. But it's like you can't just invest in them and give them $100,000 or give them a big bag and just let them do whatever, man. You gotta, if you're gonna invest in them, you have to treat it like an investment. You're not gonna give $100,000 to some dude to open up a McDonald's and not look over your investment. Like, that's crazy. They should have that shit on lock, you know? Like, dealing with this many artists, there's no reason why there should be this many artists dead signed to their label. Yeah, they were independent, but they were all under Empire, like distribution, and they're actually acting as if they're a label or something. So there's definitely not something adding up, man. I'm just telling you right now, and I'm just saying it's a red flag. I'm not saying that I know exactly what's not adding up because I don't know what the details of all their contracts are, but you can put two and two together and you can see that if all these artists are dying on their label, people from the industry are speaking out on it, it's definitely not looking good for their bottom line and their business, man. And one of the biggest people signed on right now is Lucky, and people are saying like, I mean, look at the situation with Lucky. They're a whole fucking label and they don't give a fuck if this nigga drinks as much lean and fucking dies. All they care about is dropping music, man. This dude is not looking good, man. This nigga looks like damn near 400 pounds, and these niggas are encouraging this shit. So obviously there's a lot of shit that these labels just don't even care about. They don't really care about your well-being like that. They just care about you making that music and shit, and they just provide you the resources to do that. But the resources should be like rehab facilities and stuff like that. Like, help people. Don't just like take advantage of them, you know, help them and they'll help you even further. But it's like, if you're just taking advantage of them, you're just gonna do this shit on some like short-term vibes, and that's exactly what Ghazi's getting called out for, man. But hey, let me know what y'all think about this situation, man. Let me know if you think Empire is on the hook for these deaths, these artists' deaths, man. All these artists who died on Empire, let me know, man. Real say shit. You already know what's going on. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Peace.